Hello and welcome to a Sunday morning Wardy's Waffle Farm update. You can see me, lovely sky tonight. It's Saturday evening, just starting to set. Field behind me is our cover crop field. I'll have a bit of a detailed look at that. This is in our long-term trial. I'll compare this to our heathland field, so I'll have a look at this next week. Anyway, this week's update, just before I get going, I was just asked if I'd give a shout out to a guy on YouTube called The Junior Farmer. His name's Sam Reynolds, so yeah, there you are, Sam. That's for you. Anyway, what have we got this week? We're looking at the weather and drilling and cultivations. We've still got some to do. We've had quite a bit of rain since I got back from Cheltenham, so take a bit of a look at that and look at how much more we've got to do, and look at the John Deere and the Solo. We've also been concreting again the sugar beet pad. We've virtually got that finished. We've just had to peck out an area of the old to match up, so you'll see that. We've also got the turf finished as well, and again, bit of a difference between the one we did last week, or the area we did last week and this week, and but you'll see that. We've also been making some beams in the workshop. Ian Hooton's been getting these RSJs put together, and we've got some out the old house, and we've got some new steel as well, so we've been making the beams to go in the new house. We've put some of those beams in as well this week, which is it's great to see the progress of the house. We've also been loading barley out. We've had another 6 trailer loads, which makes 3 lorry loads, go up to our neighbours for the colour sorter to get the ERGOT out, and we've brought some back as well. And then also we take a bit of a look round at some of the wheats that we've actually just starting to germinate, and it's always nice to see wheat in rows, green up in rows, so we take a bit of a look at that as well. Anyway, let's hope we've got a bit more better weather this coming week and we can get some more work done. So without any more from me, let's crack on with this week's update. Please click like, subscribe and the bell icon, and thank you for watching. So back from Cheltenham, and had a great time there. Thank you very much to FCN for that day. And while we was away, you saw Tom and Ruben got some more seed cleaned and treated, ready for hopefully to get some more of our drilling done. This field behind me here, and another 1 or 2 over there, which is second wheats and continuous wheats. You'll see the RX part behind me not looking too clean, because Tom also got some soloing done, which was great. This field behind me here that's coming next year's sugar beet, so that was done, but the rain came, and we've had rain yesterday, Thursday, which stopped him finishing these headlands we stood on, which I think probably we might just have found the limitations of this tractor now. The quad track here would have done these headlands yesterday. Tom tried to do them in the morning just as it started to rain, and the tractor was slipping and it wasn't doing a very good job. And when we do headlands, Tom starts on the inside of the field here and works outwards, so you finish off next to the outside of the field. And of course, when you start, you're here. When you start, you're on an area of land that you've done already, where you've done the field up and down. Where you're going up and down, you lift the machine in and out, and you can see here, so you're crossing over areas that's already been done, and so you're sort of on freshly moved soil, and if it's rained, it's wet. And I think that's where we struggled yesterday morning. Tom did really before the rain really started too hard. And the quad track, the RX was just slipping a bit, whereas the quad 9 tons heavier, another 200 horsepower, it was definitely gone yesterday morning. But saying that, another year when we'll have the tractor right from the word go in the autumn, this land will have already been worked in September when it was dry, so we won't get in this situation hopefully. But we'll just have a look at this and you'll just see why you need to be doing all these things in the dry. You'll notice as well we haven't got any linkage or weight block or anything on the front of this tractor, and I know you can get various things for them, but I'm not sure. We just need to talk to Farrell, but we might get a box of some sort, maybe with a small weight to go on it. But yeah, you can just see the amount of soil and the tracks, what there is in there, and how much soil stuck to those. But you can just see now what it's like, how much it's stuck to it, and the bit of soil around it and around the legs. You can't beat doing anything when it's dry. So much better when it's dry to get any land work done. And you can just see when you look in the back there, scrapers are working hard, and when they're working hard, it acts a bit like a brake. So you can just see here as well the DD roller soil stuck in some of those and stuck around the outside of that. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done for next year's beet. But we've taken the press off, you notice, because I know we just don't need that now when it's a bit tacky. You don't need that, so we've taken the press off the back. and obviously it does reduce the load quite a lot. So looking at this field here, this is where I'm saying that this breed that Tom did yesterday morning, just it's starting to rain, and that you're going on it land that's already been moved and worked. And yes, it is soggy, but it's nice soil, this nice sort of medium soil, not particularly heavy. When you look there, but it'll be fine without the press on. The winter and the weather will get at this and level it out, and then come next spring when we put the press in here, culti press, ready for next year's sugar beet, it should be all right. But yeah, nice field this, 48 acres, but we've just got to get these headlands done, hopefully before it rains again, which I think there's some more forecast at the weekend. Just looking at the area that Agri drilled the trial plots last week, you saw that in last week's update, the Sunday update. This is the area with the trials in. We did get it rolled, haven't got it sprayed and primed, did get it rolled, but we haven't got the rest of the field around the outside drilled of ours, you can just see there. But I did just wonder whether there's any germinating and coming through. It's been in now just over a week, and yeah, hold the camera right down there, you can see there's nothing just coming through yet, but it won't be long. It'll soon be through. I'm just looking at this concrete that has been done while I was in Cheltenham. That was the last bay there that was done, and we've got the cuts put in for expansion joints to try and eliminate cracking, one there and one there, so every 5 metres. So we've done a good job here, the guys have, with this. But this is the area that just wasn't quite right. You can see the massive lip we've got here. Just see with my hand there, probably nearly 3 inches, but we had to do that, make that level. Otherwise, if we brought that level down to this old level, it'd have had a big dip in it, it'd have been water sat. So what we're going to do now, you can see the marks, we've already cut it. That's where it starts to go a bit wrong. So we've cut along here, so we're going to fetch this out. This area has got a few cracks in it anyway. Going to fetch this area out here where the IBC stood, and it will then all this area just here. Then you can see by that wood there's a gap under there, but then when you get to the end of it there isn't. So we'll fetch this area out along here, and it just starts to improve there where it starts to get level. So we'll fetch all that area out, and it'll take nearly one more load, 6 metre cube in there, just to bring it right to these levels. This is a problem with these old concretes. So obviously there's no mesh underneath here, that's why it's cracked. And this concrete, there's no mesh under that, but we've got fibres in it, which apparently fibres are as strong as mesh, as the metal, mesh, squared mesh that you can put in concrete. Fibres are as strong, and it saved us on this area well over £1,000 for not having the mesh. So that's why we're going to, but we are going to put mesh in this little area. It's obviously a smaller area, a lot narrower, so we're going to put a mesh in here, just to make it a bit stronger, because obviously it's unlevel and everything here, but we'll get it leveled up underneath, put mesh underneath it, one more load, and then it'll tidy it up to that area there. Make a good job of it for putting sugar beet on. You can see this is the turf area. The yellow turf is the rolls that's been rolled up for quite a while, for a week or so, but this is the area. I think Poppy's boss. Just got this excavator going back. This is the one that Simon lent us from Tillers for stacking up the tarmac planings. Another job we're doing is the beams and for the house go across windows and bifold doors. So we've bought the steel and just welding them together ourselves. Ian's doing that, and we've got obviously structural calculations for that. These are steels, that beams, RSJs that were in the old house. Ian's welded them together, and we've got some flat bits just to go in here so they sit flat on the top of the brickwork. And then over here, Harry, who's helps on building, is painting these ones. These are another ones that Ian's made. So we're doing all these. There's another old one out the old house that we're going to cut down and get made. Just red oxide in them. And Tom and Ruben are just loading up some more barley to go into this neighbour's colour sorter. You saw a video a few weeks they could take out the ERGOT. So we're just getting this loaded up and get it taken. And that might just about go on another load. And then that'll be it. We've had 9 loads altogether of malting barley. That's 9 times 29. So just under 270 tonnes altogether of malting barley. This is going to Burton-on-Trent, the brewery near Derby. They brew Grolsch, Carling and Doombar, some of the beers, and then do some of the speciality beers as well. So we've got this shed all cleared out. If you remember, there was all pipes underneath here to cool it and aerate it from there. This is just a clip of what they look like when we're putting them in. Obviously that trailer there's got dual wheels on, but they're just loading it, and then we'll take the tractor off because we can't take that on the road like that. So we'll take it with our fast track. Tom's just backing the fast track in now. We're going to load it as well and get that loaded, and then they'll all hopefully be on together on 2 loads. Getting the sheet rolled back. There we go. Good design. I know lorries have electric sheets on now, but it's a simple design and it works on farm trailers. First bucket full in this other trailer, and this is also some of the barley, or this the field from the direct drilling demo was this is some of the barley from that, because we only had 3 fields of spring barley, a variety called Laureate, which has been around 4 or 5 years now, and it's one of the maltsters prefer. And so the barley that was grown in the direct drilling field that some of you came to, this is it. The bucket holds about 2.7 tonnes of wheat and about 2.5 of barley when it's full. Obviously that's not full, so there'll be about 2 tonnes in there. It's going to be touch and go whether this is going to go on that trailer. As always, there'll be about a tonne left. It's always a bit awkward when you're near the walls, near the corners. You go steady, you're alright, but what we did in this shed a few years ago, we redid this wall and put some concrete lip here, and if you can see there, that is angle iron. It goes under the floor that way, bolted to, and then we're concreted down here so it runs off. So if you catch it with the bucket like that, you're catching metal, not concrete. So the bucket is running against this metal strip. Of course it just saves the shoveling. All this just flows off this. It's quite steep, this is. It just flows off it, and then there's not so much shoveling to do. Just have to shovel near the edge there, not much to do, and then brush up. We've got a leaf blower as well that we use, makes it a lot easier. Much easier and quicker than brushing. Squeeze the last bit in. So we've got a full load here. These trailers will hold, they're 16-tonne trailers, but they'll hold 18 tonnes of wheat, or even 19 if it's weighing really well in a good year. So barley, I'd expect probably 17, something like that maximum. A little bit left there. got the sheet on that trailer. The only thing makes it awkward is when the strap there folds back. So we've just got this little device that we use putting bags up. Will do. And then made these hooks in here to keep the bags up last year, to keep them out the way of the mice. And so with this you just hook it up like that, put your bag down, put them there, and it just keeps the bags out the way of the mice. We've also got some up in the roof there, tied up in bags, and you can see in the light we've actually got a bottle, a plastic pop bottle on the string, because we did it before and the mice used to run up and down the rope into the bag, so we put that there and it stops the mice. But we haven't got any mice in this shed. We've had a real clear out 3 or 4 years ago, and so the pest control people do a decent job, and we've got the mice out of this shed. There's none at all. You can always smell mice and vermin when you go in the shed, and there's nothing in here. We've got the scaffolding up around the house yesterday. That was on Thursday. We're just now getting ready to lift some beams up. That's the ones that go across here. Just lifting some more bricks up now. We've got the scaffolding done. Up onto that platform. That's it, just put another pack up there. Just going to weigh the RSJ beams that we're putting up onto the house, and so just weighing the Manitou without any forks on. It's 8140, so 8.14 tons. Nana's out there just overseeing it, just getting all the straps and everything ready to lift this up, making sure it's safe. We don't want metal on metal, so that's why we've got webbing around it. Just lifting it up and just trying the beam because it's not quite balanced. It's not quite in the middle, but that is now, that's balanced. We've just checked when it fully out how much weight there is. We've just put it on the weigh bridge. There's 0.44 of a ton, so this is fine, this forklift fully out of that. So we just... It's going on top of that pillar there and that pillar there, and that is the gable end of the house. Nearly there. It's just because we've welded these beams together like that, we've obviously got this filler plate to go in there to take up the slack, and if we'd welded them tight so the gap was there, so just welded together, it'd been too wide. There needs to be 600 on the pillar, Ron said. So that is the measurement. Put with cement underneath. These beams were in the old house. That's why they're overlapping them, because they're the old ones. They're over-engineered. They're a lot bigger than what the structural calculations said we needed. But I'm using them because we've got them and they're really good steel. Yeah.
Bit more. Okay.
Job done. And then the side of the house here goes up here, right up there. Then this part is single story. That's it in place. And this is the next one, only a lot smaller one to go over that window there, which is a full height French opening window down to the floor. And this is in the snooker room, where I'm bringing the table that was at my father's house, bringing it down into here. So we've got some welds all the way along. And then the other one we've put in is this one up here. So all starting to come together. This is another field we've just got to solo. This is coming spring beans. So we'll get this done in the next day or two. It hasn't had any sewage sludge on it. You can't put sewage sludge in front of spring beans, so but it's the glyphosate starting to work. You can see it's going yellow and the weeds here are starting to curl up, so that's all working nicely. We've also got, carrying on with the lane, we've got some of this soil here that's come from the house area when we dug the footings, and so Ruben's just taking it down to the edge of the track there, and when Barry gets back from doing the pecking job on that other concrete with his little mini digger, he's going to put the soil out down the side of the lanes, and sorry, the dog's just having to play, and then we'll get this beet pad cleared. This soil's going down the side of the track, and then that sugar beet there, there's 30 acres there, will go on this concrete when we get this soil out the way in next couple of weeks when it dries up a bit. The weather's not settled enough quite yet to lift some of this heavy land beet. What I like to do is lift it, work it and drill it without getting any rain between lifting and working and drilling, because it just doesn't do it any good. It'll be quite dry underneath this wool at the moment, but once we get a rain on it after it's lifted it, then it won't be so good. Local garage at the Costa, thought I'd get the builders and Ron and all of them some coffees, so this is what we've got. That's looking better now, getting that chopped up. Barry's pecked that out and then moving that, and then we're just going to get this all done, and it will just fill that up, gap up to that new concrete a treat. Get some mesh in there as well just to make it strong. So that's another job that's been doing for a year or two. This is the first field of wheat we drilled this year, so the first one with the 8RX on the free flow. It was drilled on October the 13th. Coming through quite well. It was oats last year. Looking down the row, you can just see plants. Nice density there at the minute. Still some just coming through. So looking good there, and then all this block here, and then looking just across the road there, across the track, that as well. Just the auto turn just getting set up there, you can just see at the ends, but looking all right. Just got a few little gaps in one or two places, but generally that's a tram line of course there, but looking really well at the minute. This patch here is where or one of the sewage sludge heaps were. So it just shows the richness that comes out of it and goes into the soil. There will be one or two areas like this that don't germinate. You can see how lumpy and hard it was when you look at that lump when it was drilled. Yeah, very few plants here. One there just coming, but there will be some bare patches just in this area and one or two other fields where we have the sludge heaps. Little Frankie here hasn't had a haircut for a while, so Rhonda's going to take her in a few minutes, have it all chopped off, so in another few hours you'll see at the end of the video all looking very smart, won't we Frankie? That's a lot better now it's all dug out. Barry went and pecked it all up and brought it out. You can see it's some good concrete years ago when that was put in. Look at that, and it's been down. Oh, I can remember it being down, so I don't know, it's probably been down this bit as we extended it from up there to down here. Probably 30 years that's been in, but that'll be much better. That we can see by the level of that wood across there. Get that all levelled up now. That'll be so much better. There won't be any water stood there, and it'll blend in nicely with the new. Put a bit of mesh in as well there because it's not very wide, and yeah, that'll be much better, that will. Another thing I forgot to mention, that on the edge where we're next to a field, whenever we put any concrete pads down, we always have a bit of a slope, a bit of a ramp, because when we're lifting this, it will be in the winter time, and quite often you might have ruts a foot deep there coming out there, and the trailers going into an abrupt straight edge of concrete wouldn't be any good for the concrete, so we always put a bit of a slope down. I've got this turf finished laying, but you can see the difference. This is the area that we've done early on this week, so the rolls were rolled up a while, as you saw early on in the video and last week's video, but that was the one that was laid straight away. So it's just harvested near Lincoln exactly the same time, but this was rolled up longer. And for those of you who've only just sort of started following this or just seen what I'm doing, this is some turf that was from the Millennium Stadium, and this was Tiller's turf. Do a lot of football pitches, and some of this wasn't quite good enough for a football pitch for Millennium Stadium, and it's got it's sort of what they call a hybrid pitch. So there's a sort of a plastic film underneath 2 inches of sand. So if you look there, underneath there, right at the bottom there is I've rolled it now here, so I'm trying to get it down. So, but right underneath there is a plastic film, and then there's a 5% of what you can see here is plastic grass. But you can see here, you pull it, look, just the same. There, this is all proper grass just there. But yeah, so just out the back of the stables, the offices. So it'll be a good area for the dogs to go. But yeah, you can just see it's yellow, but it's not as yellow as it was when we laid it. You'll have noticed from early on in the video. So it is coming round. Now we've got some sunlight to it, but I'm just rolling it. Borrowed one of Tiller's turf, Fine Turf's roll here, and we're just rolling this just to firm out the joints, just to make sure and iron out any lumps. But I have just got 1 or 2 areas where I just need to lift the turf, put a bit of sand under. It's not quite level enough for my liking. You can't see it on the camera, but there's an area there that's a bit low, and 1 or 2 little blemishes there as well. Just to the right of that apple is a bit low. Thank you, Nala. Poppy. But yeah, it'll be great when we get it all grown. Next spring, you're not seeing a difference. So we're just rolling it, going to plant a hedge around the outside down here, and then a hedge up there to separate it off from the house. So it'll be great when it's finished, and when it's all greened up and it's all the same colour. This isn't a vibrating roll, but it's just a nice, good, heavy, non-vibrating roll. And I see you can actually put water in it as well. I'm not quite sure whether there's water in it or not, because I only picked it up from Fine Turf 2 or 3 days ago. But doing a cracking job here, just levelling out, just firming where the joints have been. And I did this bit a couple of days ago, so you can't quite see the line. But yeah, doing a good job. Back from taking Frankie to have a haircut. She's looking a bit unsure. Lovely. She does look lovely. She'll be a bit cold now. Looks very smart, Frankie. Good girl. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this Sunday morning update. Please click like, subscribe and the little bell icon to alert you whenever I post my videos. And we'll see if we get drilling this next week, if the weather picks up a little bit. We've still got 250 acres of wheat still to get in, sugar beet to harvest. So still quite a lot to get on with. So we'll see what happens with the weather, and see you next time.